Section 31 show has been announced. That's really all we have to say, but we're going to talk about it for a minute since we just happened to be recording when the news dropped. Boom! All that right after this. Welcome to the Star Trek Universe podcast. My name is Matthew Carroll.
I'm David C. Robertson.
Dave, this is big news.
It sure is, man.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right.
I'm sure we can get a little deeper than that. So, Section 31 show has been announced officially, and Michelle Yeoh is going to be the... Is she how is it worded? Is she the protagonist of the show?
And it looks like they are going... well, as they say, CBS All Access is going into Black Ops, or goes Black Ops. So I guess she's just going to be the protagonist of the show, and we don't really know a whole lot else, honestly. It's just, this is what Kurtzman is doing. He wants to give a different tone to every series, so expect it to not be like Discovery. Let's see, who is... sorry, it just dropped. I'm looking at the news piece. Co-executive producers are Aaron Byers, Bo-Yeon Kim, and Erica Leopold. And they will also write the series.
Cool.
So, yeah. Showrunners are going to be Kim and Leopold, though.
Okay, so talking about this, do we know anything about what they've done in the past? Do we have that on hand?
Star Trek Discovery.
Okay. Cool. Well, obviously, they probably have some experience with this character of Mirror Georgiou, the Emperor. I'm very interested in this idea, and I'm totally on board. And me and you have been talking about a Section 31 series since Section 31 became a thing. Since Julian Bashir first discovered Section 31, we have been talking about how cool it would be to really explore this.
And now that it's looking me in the face, I'm not that excited about it.
Oh, come on, man.
It's not that I'm not excited about it, it's that I'm worried about it. It's a little like, you don't want too much Creed Bratton on The Office, because if too much will ruin him.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure. I get that. I do. But I mean, we're talking about a Star Trek universe that we want explored. We want them to explore different corners of the universe. I think both of us would rather them move forward in the universe.
Sure.
I don't like that this is another prequel series, but exploring Section 31, I'm all for. And this is one of the, we talk a lot about the kind of prequels that can work versus the kind of prequels that don't. And the kind of prequels that can work is when there is space to be explored. And there's all kinds of stuff you could do with a Section 31 series, especially if that series overlaps with previous Trek. If this moves into, let's say, the original series timeline, and I would be absolutely overjoyed if they were doing things behind the scene to support Kirk and crew. That sounds really interesting. It would be similar to what they did on DS9 when they visited the original series timeline in Troubles and Tribbles or Tribulations or whatever that episode's called, Yeah.
All right. So Bo-Yeon Kim, she was the executive story editor on 10 episodes of Discovery. Let's see, Erica Leopold wrote The Brightest Star, the short Trek.
Okay. Was
an executive story editor on 9 episodes.
Okay, so they are bigly involved with Discovery. So some people will be very disappointed with that idea. I'm not too disappointed. I think Discovery made some adjustments throughout its run, and we're in the middle of our rewatch right now. We're almost finished with our rewatch, and I think that show turned out pretty good. I think a lot of people turned their critical brains off after the first 2 episodes and just decided that it wasn't good, and the darkness of the tone and all this. I think there's actually some really good stuff in Discovery so far. There are a lot of people that disagree. But what interested me more than all that, sure, it's going to be a spin-off of Discovery, quite literally. But starting the show with a protagonist like the Emperor how do you even make a show about the protagonist like the Emperor?
I guess we'll find out.
I'm very interested. You have shows like Breaking Bad where the main character is literally doing horrible things throughout the series, and it's all about it's about sort of a transformation of what causes a man to go that dark. And there's a lot of discussions to be had around that, but I'm sure my own statement just then can be torn apart. But Vince Gilligan says it's Mr. Chips turning into Scarface. But this is a character who is worse than Scarface. Like, this is she is responsible for genocide. We've seen her on screen destroy planets. Like, this is a bad character, starting off in a very bad place. I don't know how I can grow to trust her in any way or care about her. I'm interested to see how that'll go.
Yeah, they pretty well glossed over her willing enslavement of the Kelpians and her consuming them.
I don't think they glossed over it. At least, in the... Are you talking about in this article or in the show?
In the show. They don't mention it in the article.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like in the show, and we're watching it now, and the episode we just watched is the second to last, and there's that scene where she, in the face of Saru, says, we feasted on his entrails. And it's like, whoa, okay, so she's a bald-faced villain in the show, and I don't know. I'm just very interested in how this shakes out, and they try to make a show, even just to attempt to make a show. I don't know that I'm excited, but I'm very interested. So, all right. Well, I'm on board. I'm interested to see what happens. I'm skeptical for both like creative, just like even not even talking about Star Trek. The idea of having a series such that starts out with a villain like that could be a redemption story. Could be a reveling in her evil story. I don't know. Is she trying to get back to the dark universe? Is she what are her motivations? Why is she doing what she just realized that this is the most power she can have by being a part of this covert ops in this universe? Gives her the most power to shape things.
Maybe it just gives her the most fun.
Sure. No, that's absolutely possible. Like, she's such an evil character, and the whole thing with Section 31 is sometimes to maintain the status quo, you've got to do things that would not be okay to mention in public. To do evil things to maintain the universe so that people can continue to have the lives they love. And that's a compelling argument to have, but what makes it hard is normally when you have a character like Bashir, for instance, or even Lorca, when we didn't know he was from the Mirror Universe, you have this drive where you're like, I can see why they would do that bad thing because their motivation isn't bad. But I'm not so sure with Georgiou that that's going to be a sell you can make.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what her motivation would be.
I don't either. I'm excited though.
I'm assuming they might set that up in season 2 of Discovery, though.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now that it's been greenlit, and we know that she appears in season 2, it seems like they're going to try to put her in a place where this show can launch. So that's cool. It's cool. And I mean, we've already heard them say Section 31, which I thought was more of a secret than, I guess it wasn't such a secret that it can't be mentioned to other characters in season 2 of Discovery. So I guess we'll see. Well, maybe we're seeing the beginnings. No, Section 31 was in Enterprise, right?
Yeah.
Man, I need to go back and watch those episodes. We should do a rewatch of all the Section 31 episodes before that Section 31 series. That would be fun. It would be fun for me. Maybe I'll do that. All right. I guess that's it. We just wanted to drop a quick episode to let you know about the news and to discuss it in the limited capacity that we can, seeing as we have no information. All right, guys. Peace.
Live long and prosper.
To reach out to us, hit us up at StarTrekUcast.com, at Star Trek Ucast on Twitter, Star Trek Universe Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Just search for us there, or send us a message at StarTrekUcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to hear more from David C. Robertson, check out the DC On Screen podcast or maladjusted.tv. And if you want to hear more from Matthew Carroll, that's me, check out the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, or go listen to our music at MatthewCarrollmusic.com or anywhere you get music.